Okay, guys, so obviously school is having internet issues today, so I'm going to make you a little video on the two con skills that we're doing today, just in case you aren't able to get on through the Zoom meeting. And even if you are, then you can use it as a reference when you're doing your con skills, okay? So, first skill is match equations to coordinates on a graph. So, the easiest way to do this is plug in values, because remember, x is our independent value. We can decide whatever number we want for that. Okay, and so to see if our coordinates work out with that. So let's try the first one. So first we have an input of 1 and an output of 3. So if I put for this first one, my x coordinate is a 1 and my y coordinate is a 3, well, that's true. So that point is okay. Let's try the next point. So I have my y coordinate is a 6. I'm multiplying 3 by my x coordinate, which is a 4. Well, 6 is not equal to 3 times 4, so that's not going to work. All 3 points have to work, okay? So let's try the second option. The second option is I'm adding 2 to each of my x coordinates to get my y coordinate. So my first x coordinate is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, which is my y coordinate. So that one's okay. My second x coordinate is 4. I'm adding 2, and my y coordinate should be 6, which it is. And my last one, my x coordinate is a 7. I'm adding 2, and my y coordinate or my output is 9, which it is. So that's going to be B on that one. Okay, so you're just figuring out which line matches the equations. Okay, so on this second example, we either have that we're subtracting 1 from each x coordinate or we're adding 1 to each coordinate. So start with your x. Okay, so here our x coordinate is 2. If I subtract 1, I should have an output or a y coordinate of 1. Well, I don't. I have a 3. So I already know this one's not going to work. So now if I have a 2 and I add 1, I do get 3. So this one works. If I have an input of 5 and I add 1, I should have an output of 6, which I do. And if I have an input of 7 and add 1, I should have an output of 8, which I do. So B is going to be your answer on that one. Okay, one more of those. So here, this first option A just means all of my x coordinates are exactly the same as my y coordinates. So I should have, if I have a 2, I should have a 2. If I have a 5, I should have a 5 output. If I have an 8 input, I should have an 8 output. That's going to be my function right there. This is actually called the parent function for learning your equations. So as we start graphing in the next unit, we're going to deal with that line right there quite a bit. Okay? All right, that's the first skill. Not too bad. So second skill is relationships between quantities in equations and graphs. Okay? And so first thing you're going to do is write the equation, and then it's going to ask you something about that, okay? So anytime you see the phrase per month, per person, per day, per whatever, that is really key in algebra. And what it's telling you is that's going to be what you're multiplying by. So this means to multiply, okay? So for the first one, the cost is the membership that you paid. Membership at a yoga studio costs $35 per month. Okay, so the cost equals 35 times however many months you keep that membership, right? So 1 month would be $35. 2 months would be 2 times $35, which would be $70, etc., etc. Okay, so now, how much will your membership cost if you keep it for 20 months? Well, your cost would equal $35, and you're doing it for 20 months. So that cost would equal $700. When you put your answer into con, you're just putting in, and you don't even have to put the dollar sign because they already did that for you. Okay, so this is a 2-step skill. you're going to write the equation and then calculate the answer. Okay? You mow the lawn to earn your allowance. Each time you mow the lawn, you earn $12. So that's $12 per lawn, right? Okay? So the number of dollars you earn, D, is going to equal $12 times every time you mow the lawn, which is N. Be really careful that on this skill you're utilizing the correct letters, because if you put X in there instead of an M, it's going to mark it wrong. Okay? So now the number of dollars you earn if you mow the lawn 10 times, right? Be 12 times 10, which is 120. Okay? You and your brother are reading the same novel. You want to get ahead of him in the book, so you decide to read 30 minutes longer than your brother reads. Okay? So 30 minutes longer. So now this is not going to be a multiplication problem. This is going to be an addition problem. So however many minutes, if he reads 60 minutes, then you read 30 minutes more than that, right? Which would be 90 minutes. So it's going to be an addition problem right there. So the number of minutes you read when your brother reads X minutes. So if his is the X, yours is going to equal that number plus 30, okay? So Y is going to equal X, the number of minutes he reads, plus 30 additional minutes. How many minutes will you read if your brother reads for 15 minutes? So you're going to take however many minutes he reads, add another 30 on, and you're going to get 45. Okay? Let's do a couple more of these. Vania is 5 years older than her cousin Cora. Write an equation for the age of Venla, V, when Cora is K years old. So let's just pick random numbers, okay? So let's say her cousin Cora is 7, right? Then if Venla is 5 years older, she would be 12. Does that make sense? So you're going to, her age, and use, when you put it in, use lowercase. If they have lowercase v, use lowercase v. Okay, is going to be Cora's age plus 5. So how old is Cora? So this time we're looking, you're going to use that. But now it's telling us that Venla is 18. So we're going to plug that in for the V. So 18 equals K plus 5. Here's where you're going to solve that equation by subtracting 5 from both sides, right? So when Cora is 13 years old, when Venla is 18, right? 5-year age difference. Okay, you and your best friend are both on the swim team. You want to beat your friend at the next swim meet, so you decide to swim 15 minutes longer than she does one day at practice. So if you see longer, shorter, more, less, those are going to be hints that you're adding or subtracting. If you see per person, per day, per hour, that's going to be a hint that you're multiplying, okay? So the number of minutes you swim when your friend swims X number of minutes. So the number of minutes you swim is going to be the number of minutes your friend swims plus 15. Okay? Now it says you swim 55 minutes. So you swim is represented by the Y. So 55 minutes equals however long your friend swims plus the extra 15. Right? So you're going to subtract 15 from both sides. And that means that your friend swam for 40 minutes. Okay. All right, last one. Tegan needs to make 68 more snow blocks to finish building an igloo. So we need 68 more snow blocks. Write an equation for the number of blocks Tegan still needs to make when she has completed C blocks. Okay? So she needs 68 total, right? And some of them she's completed, and some of them she still needs to make. Okay, so when you want to figure out how many you need to make, you need that m by itself. So we're going to subtract c. You can subtract letters, that's fine. So 68 minus c, she needs 68 total. She's already completed however many, and that leaves how many she still needs to make. Okay, she completes 33 blocks. So now she's already completed 33. So we just need to subtract those two to get how many she still needs to make, which gives us 35. Okay, so those are the two con skills today. The whole district's having internet issues today, so I will have those assigned for you in con, and please get those done. Hopefully you still will all be able to get into the Zoom. If not, email me and we can do one-on-one help if you need it. Okay, see you soon.